Good morning and vanakkam. In this video, we're going to be reading from Dancing with Shiva, Hinduism's contemporary catechism, written by Sadguru Sivaya Subramania Swami, a richly illustrated sourcebook of Indian spirituality in question and answer form, exploring how to know the divine, honor all creation, and see God everywhere, in everyone. Today's lesson is lesson 137, and we'll begin by reading the caption to the facing image. A mystical solitaire sits deep in a forest with only his kamandalu water pot and a yoga danda on which to rest his arm. With rudraksha mala in his right hand, he chants Om Namah Sivaya, drawing awareness to Shiva's all-pervasive presence. Lesson 137. How is Namah Sivaya properly chanted? Shloka 137. The Panchakshara Mantra, Namah Sivaya, is repeated verbally or mentally, often while counting a mala of rudraksha beads, drawing the mind in upon itself to cognize Lord Shiva's infinite all-pervasive presence. Om. Bhashya. Japa Yoga is the first yoga to be performed toward the goal of jnana. In the temple, perform japa. Under your favorite tree, perform japa. Seated in a remote cave, perform japa. Om Namah Sivaya can be performed on rudraksha beads over and over when the sun is setting, when the sun is rising, or high noon lights the day. Om Namah Sivaya, the Shaivite chants. Om Namah Sivaya feeds his soul, brightens his intellect, and quells his instinctive mind. Take the holy tears of Shiva, the auburn rudraksha beads, into your hands. Push a bead over the middle finger with your thumb and hold as the intonation marks its passage. The duly initiated audibly repeats Namah Sivaya, and when japa is performed silently, mentally chants Shivaya Namaha. There are many ways to chant this mantra, but perform it as you are initiated. Unauthorized experimentation is forbidden. Those prone to angry rage should never do japa. The Tirumandaram announces, his feet are the letter Na, his navel is the letter Ma, his shoulders are the letter Shi, his mouth the letter Va, his radiant cranial center aloft is Ya. Thus the five-lettered form of Shiva. Om Namah Sivaya. Good morning and vanakkam. In this video, we're going to be reading from Living with Shiva, Hinduism's contemporary culture, written by Sadguru Sivaya Subramania Swami. 365 daily lessons based on ancient Vedic laws, disclosing how to approach family, money, relationships, technology, food, worship, yoga, and karma to live a truly spiritual life. Today's lesson is lesson 137, and the topic is Mother in the Home. Now, a woman may wonder, if I don't work, how are we going to pay the bills? The stated reason that most women work is economic. The economy of the world is becoming more and more difficult, and the first answer to money problems, especially in the West, where the family unit is not too strong these days, is to have the wife go to work. This is an unhappy solution. Much too often, the sacrifices are greater than the rewards. It is a false economy. Many times I have told young wives to stay at home with their children. They worry. Their husbands worry. But with the wife at home working to strengthen her husband, he soon becomes confident, creative, energetic, and that makes him prosperous. He is reinspired and always finds a way to make ends meet. As long as the mother is home, everything is fine. There is security. Without this security, a family begins to disintegrate. Just think how insecure a child is without its mother. When the mother is there, security reigns in the home. As long as the mother is home doing whatever she naturally does as a mother, she doesn't even have to read a book about how to do it. The husband has to support the home. He feels bound to support the home. Of course, religion must be the basis of the home to make it all work. When women leave the home to work in the world, they sacrifice the depth of their religion. Their religious life then simply becomes a social affair. This is true of both Eastern and Western religions. As long as the mother is home, the celestial devas are there, hovering in and around the home. How many of you here this morning were raised with your mother staying at home? Well, then you know what I mean. Now, what if she wasn't at home when you were a child? You had to fix your own snack in an empty house. You didn't feel much cared for. You were alone in an empty house, perhaps frightened, and you went around seeing if someone was hiding in the closet. You didn't feel that motherly protective feeling. When mother finally does come home, she has other things on her mind. She is tired. She has worked hard and now she has to work even more. She is not thinking about the helpless kid who can't take care of himself. She may get home and think to herself, I just can't forget about that good-looking man I met at the office. I even see him in my dreams. I have a husband and I shouldn't be thinking about such things, but... And on and on and on. Arguments begin to happen for the first time in the home. What do? You worry for a while. You cry a little. As soon as you can, you start fending for yourself. You work out ways to take care of yourself, or even to get away from the unhappy situation as soon as you can. You end up out on your own in the world at a young age before you are mature enough to cope with it. Sutra 137 of the Nandinada Sutras. Taking time to train the youth. Shiva's followers who are parents take time to train boys in technical skills, girls in homemaking, and both in music, health, cooking, and home management. They celebrate improvements instead of focusing on mistakes. Om. Good morning and vanakkam. In this video, we'll be reading from Merging with Shiva, Hinduism's contemporary metaphysics, written by Sadguru Sivaya Subramania Swami. 365 enlightenment lessons from a mystical master, revealing the depths of Raja Yoga, the clear white light, the states of mind, and the ultimate spiritual destiny of every seeker. Today's lesson is lesson 137, and the topic is oneness with divine law. Because it is relatively free from mistaken doctrines, the Hindu approach to life, and the Hindu approach to time, and the Hindu approach to worry, and the Hindu approach to the subconscious mind is very different from the Western approach. The Hindu knows that he is evolving through a succession of lives on the planet, and he is not in a hurry. The devout Hindu accumulates little karma because his subconscious is constantly being brought current by the worship of the gods. Thus karma is controlled. The Hindu looks at religion as the most joyous expression life can offer. The Hindu considers all of mankind his brothers and sisters, all created by the same creator, all destined to have the same attainment. When he visits the temple, he is seeking to understand the minds of the gods, seeking their blessings and their guidance. He stands before the deity in humble awe of the grandeur of a world he can only partially conceive. He inwardly tries to sense the deity. If he is even slightly clairvoyant, he may see the deity overshadow the image within the sanctum. At first, he may see the image appear to move, thinking it his own imagination. He may observe the expression on the deity change from day to day and from hour to hour. He may become aware of the deity's influence in his life and awaken a love for the gods whom he once only vaguely thought were plausible. The Hindu is not an existentialist. He does not believe that God is unknowable. He does not believe in the dismal fate of mankind alone in the universe, with only himself to depend upon. The Hindu believes that he is born with his destiny and the patterns are set. He blends his will with the will of his religious community and with the will of the gods in the temple, because he doesn't have the concept of a free will that is answerable to neither man nor God. Belief is a pattern placed within the mind for a particular purpose, so that awareness will flow through that particular pattern for the rest of the person's life. Generally, the pattern is put into the mind of a child before he's thinking for himself, or your friends or family or teachers will put beliefs in your mind. You will say, "Yes, I believe that," without actually thinking it out for yourself. It is from our beliefs that our attitudes arise. Your individual awareness, your ability to be aware, has no way of functioning unless there are patterns within the mind for the pranas to flow through and around. You have to have a mind to work through. First there are beliefs, and then attitudes. In the Hindu home and culture, beliefs and attitudes are taught very carefully and systematically with love and attention so that the individual becomes a productive member of the community even before leaving home. Those first mind impressions are important, and if they are correct and not fraught with misconceptions, they will properly guide the persons through life with the minimum of mental and emotional problems. The person will correct himself or herself rather than having to be corrected by society. And that's it for today's lesson. Take care of yourselves, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you in the next video. Om Namah Sivaya.